I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're exploring the revolutionary insights of Dr. Victoria Mondloch in her amazing book. It is called Full Bloom: Perimenopause, Menopause, Postmenopause, and Beyond. This is a groundbreaking guide that provides essential knowledge on hormones and health, empowering women to thrive during every stage of menopause. We will discover today how Dr. Mondloch's expertise can help you achieve optimal health and balance in the best years of your life. We're delighted to have this very talented author and doctor join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her remarkable book. The links are below this interview. Doctor, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Logan. Such a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is all mine. Great having you on the show again. You're one of my favorite guests. You have so many great insights that I think really empower women and thereby empowering the whole family, which is important as well. What inspired you to write Full Bloom, and how is it different from the first book in the series, Blossoming?
Well, Full Bloom is really what I call every woman, every mother, every grandmother's book. And my inspiration was my own journey. When I hit my mid 40s, I actually had my face, my skin literally explode on me. And that sounds crazy, but I have rosacea. And rosacea is a condition of your facial skin where you have more blood supply per square inch to your face. So when you bend down and come up, you look like you've just been exposed to a blowtorch. You're brilliant, bright red. And that was W.C. Fields with his bright, nose, and then it got darker over time. And people think that you're just an alcoholic, but really it's this increased blood supply per square inch. So if you now go through hormone swings and you get a hot flash or a night sweat, you are actually having that happen to you with no control, number one. Number two, as you have that hot flash, all of the fluids leak out of those vessels into your skin. So I woke up one morning and I felt like a blowtorch was on my face. I couldn't open my eyes. And I literally had to be in the operating room an hour and a half later. So I went into the bathroom and I'm splashing cold water on my face. And I had to pry my eyes open with my fingers. It was like I screamed. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even recognize myself. So when I finished my morning, and imagine doing surgery with a mask on your face and you can't touch your face and you can't even keep your eyes open. You're constantly just to see. So I get back to the office and I said to my office manager, what happened? And I said, I don't understand what my body is doing to me. And she just sat back and crossed her arms and she said, well, Doc, if you don't know, how do you expect your patients to know? And I thought, boom,
Right.
light bulb. So that was my motivation and inspiration because it was happening to me.
Basically, with the onset of menopause, your skin was reacting very, very violently to it, and you needed to find something that would help you through this difficult time. And hormone replacement therapy is a big part of your practice, right?
Exactly. And it's understanding that women's health is different than men's health. Yes, we're all human beings. You have the same hormones I have, but we have two more. We have the estradiol progesterone. And that sounds like a silly statement, but if you think about it from a medical standpoint, what doctors need to realize is when women go through women's issues and changing hormone levels, let's do the science. Let's check the levels. What a concept. There are so many doctors who have never been taught what are appropriate hormone levels. But my research, I did consented research the past 20 years on my patients. And I actually determined the graphs that say, where should your hormones be for your age? Different question than are you in reference range? And once you actually are going into perimenopause, menopause, what does perimenopause mean? What does menopause really mean? And what do we do? What extra risks come with menopause that we need to know about to mitigate? And it's going to be hugely surprising for listenership to hear that when we become menopausal, our female hormones drop so much, they drop below our male, and women, we become guys. Wait a minute. It's not supposed to be like that, but it is. And your belly fat, which comes with more testosterone, sorry guys, but that's where that's coming from. That belly fat will turn some of that belly fat into a form of estrogen called estrone, which then converts some of it to estradiol, one of our female hormones. And you go, great, I've got estradiol on board in menopause. But there's no balance for progesterone because you don't make progesterone. So if you're estrogen dominant and you're a guy, guess what happens? Not only do you get a little bit of a beer belly, but you're now at risk for breast cancer, uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, because now you're estrogen dominant and there's no balance to that estradiol. So now you're at increased risk for those cancers, and nobody tells you.
Sometimes you're told just the opposite, that you're told hormone replacement therapy is risky and could put you at risk of cancer.
And that's the American research view from the Women's Health Initiative. You're absolutely right. That's what American women are told. However, the European research, which was a mirror image, they asked the same questions, found the opposite. What? How could you do the same research, ask the same questions, but get opposite results? Well, American research, the Women's Health Initiative, studied Premarin and Prem-Pro. Well, if you know what Premarin is, it is pregnant mare's urine. What? Horse pee? Yep. Prem-Pro is Premarin plus synthetic chemical medroxyprogesterone acetate. Neither of those are human-based. So that's the research, the Women's Health Initiative that said increased risk of breast cancer, increased risk of heart attack, increased risk of stroke. The European research said we're not giving our patients chemicals and pregnant horse pee. We're going to use human-based estradiol and progesterone. Guess what? They found a decreased risk of breast cancer, a decreased risk of heart attack, a decreased risk of stroke, decreased risk of osteoporosis, and guess what? Decreased risk of.
Yeah.
And nobody I've ever taken care of is excited about looking forward to Alzheimer's. Nobody
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Menopause is associated with aging and characteristics of aging, from thinning bones to fractures, like you said, your skin, your hair, your body weight. Um, so to a layperson like myself, it seems to only make sense that replacing those hormones that are diminished during this time in your life would keep you more healthy, more vital, more youthful.
And you will feel 15 to 20 years younger forever than your stated age.
Mm.
What's wrong with
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Especially when you realize that 100 years ago, in 1912 to be exact, the average age of the American female was 48 and a half years old. That was their longevity. Wait a minute. Menopause in this country actually now occurs at 50 and a half years old. So that meant menopause didn't exist. And all of the marvels of modern medicine have actually given us a healthier, extended lifestyle and longevity. but we haven't changed what our genetics tell our ovaries to do. They still shut down at age 50 or so because Mother Nature says, you're not supposed to bear children and you have to raise them. So why do we let you have children that you cannot raise?
Amazing. So this book is basically a guide for women who are perimenopause, menopausal, or postmenopausal to understand their bodies better, understand the options that are available to them for treatment, and a way of getting not only perhaps a healthier life, but a more fulfilled life by being more of the person that they used to be.
Correct. Because what if I can give you back, and this is my patient's phrase, what if I can give you back your moxie?
Hmm.
What if that means your short-term memory loss goes away? You remember your clients' names in front of your boss, and he says, wow, she's really an asset to this company. We'll keep her around. Versus, I've heard patients come in and say the opposite. I couldn't remember my customer's name. My boss was standing right there, and I got demoted. And I'm now training a 25-year-old to do my job. Imagine what that does to any woman who has that happen to them.
This book is part of a series. Blossoming comes first, I'd imagine.
Correct. And Blossoming is the book for the other forgotten female in American medicine, the adolescent. So, Blossoming, if you'll allow me to hold that up,
Sure.
Blossoming is actually all about that adolescent who doesn't understand that they go through the hormone swings that they go through, and they don't understand why they may have heavy periods and migraines before their period, but their best friend doesn't. And when they actually get the courage with their mom to go in to see the pediatrician or family doctor and ask that question, can I get my hormone levels checked? They're told, oh, we don't do that. We'll put you on the pill. But I don't want to go on the pill. Well, that's what I've got for you because we just don't do hormone levels. And the really unfortunate thing is that message to that adolescent is you're not important to me. I've just dismissed you because what I'm going to do is more important than the question you just asked me. What do
That
you think?
sounds like an essential guide also for young women and their families to have conversations, to understand, and a guide to help them through what can be sometimes tumultuous years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine an eating disorder and hormone imbalance going on at the same time. That can
Right,
be very confusing to the entire family, not
right.
just to the adolescent.
And harmful to the child or the young woman who's going through that. Is there a third book in the series?
There is, thank you for asking.
Sure.
That book I'm currently writing, and it's between the adolescent and the actual perimenopause menopausal books. And that book will be bouquet. It will be diagnosis related because, again, women's health just covers those diagnoses up with a pill. But endometriosis is estrogen dominance. Uterine fibroids is estrogen dominance. Polycystic ovary is genetic, where part of the time women are male, part of the time they're female from their blood work hormone imbalance. Wouldn't it be good to know that you have a diagnosis like polycystic ovary that, yes, it's genetic, but you can manage it. So when you're ready to think about starting your family, you have all of that knowledge ahead of time so you know how you're going to approach it versus surprise, you have trouble getting pregnant. Oh, and we only have a short time to get you pregnant. Well, we'll send you to that infertility specialist. Oh, by the way, that's only $10,000 to $12,000 a cycle out of pocket that you're going to have to pay, but it'll be worth it for that really prized pregnancy that you're going to want.
Wonderful.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy. Yeah. So,
Well, As I said at the beginning of the interview, Dr. Victoria Mondloch has amazing insights into women's health. She has crafted 3 books that will be vital to women virtually of every age. There is Blossoming, which is for the pubescent young woman. There is Bouquet, which will be written for the woman who is in the prime of her life, let's say, or her youthful years, approaching middle age. And then there is Full Bloom, which encounters perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. The doctor is an advocate of hormone replacement therapy. She has tested it in her own practice, and she has seen wonderful results, game-changing results, life-changing results. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Pleasure's all mine. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.